Yeah, yeah. Great that they
Just
changed the Sunday 1 o'clock game to a Sunday 8 o'clock game so everybody can see it.
yeah, so there's that too. I'm gonna have to listen to this. Oh, good.
Oh. How about that play where it looked like Joe Hayden was about to intercept the ball, but he gets hit by his own guy, gets knocked out, and then it bounces into the arms of the Chargers player. It was basically a microcosm of the whole game.
Yeah, you could sum it up like that, but honestly, I know those kinds of things happen. However, it kind of makes me mad. It's just so dangerous to hit somebody in the head like that, and it's your own guy, and
Yeah.
just like the crazy running around in the back, like just looking like a bunch of desperate moves. That's kind of what I saw in that play. Like, whose man was that, and how did that happen? That's when you take out your own player. I mean, it means you've clearly missed, or like your lateral perception or whatever route was being run, something really went badly wrong there too.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
don't
And
know on that one.
that's another thing that's so frustrating about this defense. When's the last time they had a turnover? It's like, okay, Steelers will throw interceptions, they'll have fumbles, but what about the defense? When's the last time there was an interception by the defense? When's the last time they forced a fumble? Do something.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, we need some big changes in that backfield.
Something. Just like, oh, can we get another first round draft pick on a defensive guy? Because that's not working.
Right. I know. So much for Marcus Allen and his debut too. I had hopes for that. Trying to find a bright spot in here, and I know they are there. Sometimes I have to look harder than I choose to, but tonight was overall just a deflation. The wind is out of my sails, right?
It's just so frustrating.
Yeah, we're better than that. That's the problem. I think that's why, if you're a fan of a team that has a lot of issues that are not solvable from week to week, there's like a different feeling when they lose. There's this is not good. But in tonight's game, I feel like our team is better than that. And just some of the errors, again, not the things that are out of their control, were really, I just feel like it's the first weekend in December and it's too late to have that kind of stuff going on. And, we've seen a lot of things go bad to better. And tonight was just the things that I thought were stable, not unfolding properly. I think that's part of the other reason why I just feel so sad and concerned.
You're right. If it was a bad team and they have a bad game, fine. But this has a potential to be a championship team, and they do stuff like this, and it's like, it's not like the Chargers were very good. You got to give them a lot of credit, but also the Steelers very much beat themselves this game.
Yes, the Chargers are very good, and I feel like I've seen that going on a little bit. I've watched a few of the Charger games this year, and so I didn't expect them to come to Heinz Field and be horrible. But I also think if a better team had showed up tonight, the Chargers wouldn't have won. And so, you look at these things and just say, wait a second, that was not necessary. And that's where I am on these last two games. Like, you can't let them slip through your fingers like that.
You know what else was huge? That missed extra point by Boswell. That was huge.
I know. I had actually walked away for a second when that went down. When I came back, I was like, whoa, nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah.
What?
So are you in San Diego?
I am. And, a little anecdote about Phillip Rivers. I mean, in any town where there's someone with a big personality like Phillip, who's a really great guy, you always hear great things about Phillip. And that's the truth of the matter. I've never heard anything bad about Phillip Rivers. But my real anecdote about him is the Chargers had a softball team that played at a local facility here. And I had gone to see them a few times. The Chargers were amazing. There were a lot of handicapped children, and it was in kind of a family area at Poway where Rivers and a bunch of professional athletes live. And they were just such nice people, and they were approachable, and they knew people were taking pictures of them, and it got reported in the Bleacher Report kind of the next week, and then it became a little bit of a problem because so many people were going out to see them. But the point of my story is this: Phillip Rivers was a pitcher, and Phillip Rivers is as intense when he's playing a different sport and frustrated when his team's not winning as he is as a Charger. It was really funny. And all of the guys had these jerseys that had different last names on them, and they were kind of funny. Some, were from movies and references to Will Ferrell type things. But Phillip Rivers had a mullet wig, and that to me was one of the funniest things that he would come out with this wig on. So that's the thing about Phillip Rivers, the guy. And I guess another reason I bring it up is being in San Diego when Phillip Rivers was kind of a lot younger. I thought he just didn't have those leadership skills, and I thought he got too hot-headed. And there were some examples of that, his feud with Jay Cutler and being on a field, yelling at Raider fans. But that's the part of Phillip Rivers tonight that got this win, is that he is such the ultimate competitor. He's such a champion at heart, and those metrics, those unstatistical kinds of things can be really compelling when you're in a hostile territory like Heinz Field. And we saw that tonight from Phillip Rivers. That's what I saw tonight from Phillip Rivers, the guy who is, I'm going to win at any cost, get on my back, and we'll take you where we need to go. And I'm not saying Ben's not like that, but I just saw a lot of that from Phillip Rivers tonight. He's just a competitor.
I agree. There were a lot of times where it looked like a Steeler was about to sack him, grab him, whatever, and Phillip Rivers still made the play. It's like you said, it's like he willed his team to win, like he just refused to lose.
He did. You're absolutely right. And like some of those hits had to be awful. It's like, ouch.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with the Chargers tonight. I have disappointment and sadness in my heart for the Steelers, but I think we just, I hate to just say on to the next one. Another phrase I hate is it is what it is, but I think that's kind of the conclusion tonight. Lots of injuries, lots of changes. It now is what it is. It's a loss, and you have to look forward to the next one. But I have a little bit of fear because a little bit of my let's look at the next one has kind of 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and that's a little where I think things are right now. We need 2 steps forward, no steps back.
Right. I mean, it seemed like when they were winning 6 in a row that the Steelers could almost do no wrong. They just looked great. And then it's just, these past couple games, it looks like they're just falling apart. They're just, I don't know. It's just not there.
It was awful. Yeah. They looked awful. They played awful. And they just cannot put up a performance like that. But, interestingly enough, the story of turnovers tonight was not the story we've seen in some of the past games. So I guess that's a silver lining. I guess that has to be part of tonight's narrative, that turnovers got fixed-ish.
Sort of. Yeah.
Sort of.
Ben had 1 interception, and I think that was the only turnover. So that's good. Yeah, there was that. There was that 1 interception Ben threw that just was not
right.
Pretty.
There's always one.
Right. You're going to have that with Ben, but so that got better, but it would be nice if they would actually force a turnover for once.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. That is a huge, huge situation when you get some opportunities that just come out of, the other team making mistakes. So you can really leverage that stuff when you're going into a tie in the 4th. You make those plays into big opportunities for your team. So that's a good point as well. Look for a way to make that happen. Just, I don't know, do you spend more time thinking this is how the other team plays and this is where the interception opportunities are? I'm not sure, but that could be perhaps one of the angles that needs to be further exploited. Some of these guys with their stats, and you see some of these 30 on 30s and these kinds of ESPN of Football Life, where the one that sticks out in my mind is where John Gruden was like, at Tampa Bay, we never beat the Eagles. And then I finally figured out what they were doing, and I told my guys, we got them. That's what we need. We need for these next teams, for someone there to say, this is how they're going to do it, and we got them. We need to get a great strategy, figure out a way with all these injuries that they don't become huge liabilities, which I'm a little concerned about. Every team has them at this point, but let's get on to the next one with a good plan.
Gruden couldn't beat the Eagles, and the Steelers can't beat the Patriots. That's the team they need to figure out. And the Patriots are coming to Pittsburgh. They need to figure that out, and the whole season could ride on that. Whether they make the playoffs, whether they win the division, whatever. That the whole season could depend on that game right there.
You're right, and it's a scary one.
Yes, very.
I may need to be watching that solo.
Yeah. No, don't have any other people around because they. Yeah, don't do that.
I made a child cry when Connor had one of his ball throw behind me. I yelled at the TV and she looked at me and cried. I fear the Patriots game might be similar where people are scared of my reaction.
When my daughter was a baby, it was a playoff game and something happened. She just walked into the room and something bad happened and I screamed and she had the worst look on her face, like she was so scared and she started crying. It's like, oh, sorry. Get used to it. This is how Daddy is on Steeler games.
I know, and you're such a nice guy. I can't see you having that kind of
not in a game like this.
Right. The Patriot game. I cannot watch that with anyone who's from New England. That's for sure.
All right. Well, thank you so much for.
Yeah.
I could not wait to talk to somebody about this. So.
Yeah, I'm glad we had a chance. Thanks so much for having me on.
I feel a little bit better. Not much.
Me too.
A little bit.
Me too. It was cathartic. We need to support each other through these next 7 days because it's going to be a long one.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Lyndell Werling at Steelers FGSN. Every Steeler fan needs to follow her. She's awesome. And everything you need to know about the Steelers, she's on top of it. So everybody follow her. Lyndell, thank you so much.
Thanks. Have a great week ahead.
You too.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back Monday for another episode where I'm sure we're not done talking about the Steelers, and we'll also recap the weekend's NFL action. Thanks again to Lyndell Werling from Fangirl Sports Network. Talk to you later. Another episode is in the bag. At the end of the universe. Oh, it's right here. At the end of the universe.